Okay, so next video. I'm describing and showing some of the things involved in changing a fuse in a unit. We got the unit going. I also say that you can put a 5 amp fuse where a 3 amp one was. This is not many times I do that. There was a unit that 4 times kept blowing. I put a 5 amp fuse in there, never blew after that. So I don't know. I talked to a true technician with probably decades of experience, and he said he does it all the time. You want to be careful with that. You're taking a chance with the control board. Okay, it can be done. I've done it. I don't like to do it, but I've done it when I've had to. This time I did the same again, and so far so very good. Sometimes when a fuse blows, you have a short in the system. Usually it's on a 24 volt line outside going to the condenser coil to the contactor. Could be they have a pet and the pet bites the line or something like that. So that's something to look out for. So it isn't always given that you change the fuse and everything's going to be perfect. Maybe not. Be careful with that, okay? Alright, what's next? They also do sell a adapter where you plug into the control board, and it will have a fitting that you could drill a hole in the housing, and the fuse will actually be outside. You don't have to go through this mess all over again. So that's something to consider, alright? I hope you guys enjoy the video. I want to keep it short. I'll see you on the next one, alright? Bye. Okay, this is going to be fun. We got a furnace here, a Goodman. They're not all the same, and the fuse blew. We know because we got a trouble code, and this one is about 10 years old. I can tell by looking at it. I actually know who put it in. I need my small one. I don't have my small one here. Okay. Oh, there's no screw there. Okay. So we just took the bottom door off. We're gonna pull the top door off. It's got one screw in the middle. A little hard to see, apologize about that. Okay. Now the fuse on this guy, behind that door. I shut off the red switch on the wall so we have no current going to the unit, so we don't short anything else out. And we should have 6 screws here. I think that's what I see. So, give me a second. I don't want to make the video too long. It's a nice screwdriver. This Klein has a magnetic tip, 5/8 and 1/4 inch is what we usually most use. 5/8 for HVAC, sometimes 1/4 inch. I also have a stubby like this for tight spots. I might need it. Okay, I'm gonna pause the video until I get the door open and get the ductwork dropped, because without that, if that's in the way, I can't get to open the door sufficiently to get to the fuse. So give me a minute. Okay, now I gotta either drop the small motor here induction motor. It's supposed to be 4 screws, but I'm not gonna go that route. I gotta loosen up these screws here, and I gotta loosen up those screws there. Then I should be able to get the ductwork out. Couple ways to do this. You can loosen up the screws on the induction motor, which is on the bottom, and you can take this out easier. But we're gonna do something a little bit different today. See if we can get this out now. I got some wires here, so it might be in the way a little bit. Of course they're gonna be in the way, they're always in the way. So we gotta take the clips out. Yep, now we can get the flute out. Once we get that out, getting it back in can be a pain, but we'll get it somehow. We'll get it. Okay, I need 3/4 inch more. We got it. Okay. So it's hard to take it out. The technicians, when they take it out, they'll loosen up the induction motor. It's a smart idea, but it makes me a little nervous. Now, over here, you have to put something in there. Rag, paper towel, something falls in there, you just destroyed that induction motor. Okay, so we're gonna go get something put in there, and then we're gonna keep going. Okay, there's the door. And give me a second. I'll show you where the fuse is at and all that, okay? Okay, there's the paper we put in there, so we don't destroy the motor. Okay, there is the board. There's the paper induction motor. And the fuse is somewhere behind these wires where my finger's at. So I gotta go pull it out. It's something I gotta share with you guys, which is not the best thing, but nevertheless, I had a unit that had a 3-amp fuse and it blew 4 times in 2 years. I wound up putting a 5-amp fuse and it hasn't blew for 2 years. You're taking a chance of blowing the board. But I was also told by a technician that he does the same thing. So it's something to consider if you keep blowing the fuse on a particular unit. Okay? Okay, got my eye protection on. Found the fuse. It's a 3-amp fuse. I'm putting in a 5-amp. I'm not playing around with this daggone thing. We're not going to do this so many times. Okay, 3-amp. We're putting in a 5-amp fuse. Okay. 5-amp fuse is right where my finger's at. Okay, we took out the 3-amp, we put a 5-amp fuse in there. Like I said, you're taking a chance. People do it. I'm not telling you it's a smart idea, but it works. Unfortunately, most of the time. Now we got to put the door back. There was a bunch of screws up here. The partner over here took the screws down, so we got to put the door back. You guys, we'll take this out of here for a second. Take the light out of the way. And we got transformers in the way. It's not correct, so pull the door out again. Door out of the way here because it's not correct. So I'm gonna need a minute to get this done. Okay, now we got it. Okay, now all we gotta do is put the screws back. We start putting everything together, the ductwork and everything, and after we're done with that, we can test the unit, see if we got lucky. Now, what's the worst part about changing the fuse? Too many times there's a short in the system, and that's what kills the fuse. Then you gotta call a service technician to find out where the short is at. They do have a puppy in the back, but they're using heat right now. They're not using HVAC. And the puppies like to chew on the 24-volt line outside going to the condenser unit. Or dogs like to do that for whatever reason, and that's usually the cause. But this time I think it's something else, because it's they're only using heat right now. They're not using AC. Okay, we got the ductwork back in. Now we got to put all the screws back, test the unit, see how we do. Excuse me, the ductwork going to the induction motor. This can be difficult because these wires here get in the way. Now I got to put them back, put this clip back. That was a stick-on, but I can have another clip here. I can put the other wires there, or I can use foil tape. And when I bend this back, I'll put foil tape there. Nobody showed me with this, but I came up with it after killing myself trying to get it all out. Either way, that's where we at. Let's get things back together and test the unit. Don't forget, shut off the power. Okay, I got all 6 screws in place, and I didn't necessarily tighten all of them because I want to make sure I can align everything. Tightening one and not being able to line the others can be a problem, so that's where we at. This is for airflow, this door also, because that board that you were looking at is on top of a fan that pretty much is the airflow for the entire unit. Okay, the induction motor is a little one, which is a pre-purge, post-purge. Means it starts up. Then the igniter goes on, the gas tray goes on. And when the gas tray goes off, the induction motor keeps running for a post-purge. So if there's any gas in the system, it takes it out. Okay. Alright, we're good to go. Let's see if we get lucky. Put it on heat. That's the induction motor you hear telling me they're going to need a new one. I still didn't put the screws on the bottom here going to the induction motor. I'll take care of that. So we're gonna see if it fires up and the system runs. If it does, then we got lucky today again. Okay. I see it glowing. You guys heard it fire up. We're good to go. Be careful with putting a 5 amp where 3 amp fuse was, but that seems to be a solution today. Now we'll bend this piece back, and then we'll get some aluminum foil tape, and then we'll put our doors back on. Okay, once we tape this up. Okay. So that won't be that hard. I gotta clean it up, tape it up, so it stays in its correct position. And I don't like the sound of the induction motor. It's gonna have to be changed. I'm gonna put in a call for that. That bearing is going. You guys have a good one, alright? Bye. Okay, we got everything back together. The induction motor is making a little bit of noise. We got the screws in for the flute going to the stack. We got our tape in place. All we got is put the doors done, and we got to put some screws on top, and we're good to go. Bye.